All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to another reaction for To Be Hero. My name is RIZZ, and I didn't get to upload my reaction to the last episode of Lucky Cyan's arc. I suppose you can say just got like so busy and wasn't able to get the editing done. And I'm hoping that that's okay when I'm quite early on and there's not too many people watching. But if you are watching and have subscribed and were looking out for that, then please let me know, because it would be great to know that people are interacting with what I'm doing and present. So where are we at? Lucky Cyan has been wrapped up, and it's clear that we're getting a bit of an understanding of how this show is structured. So one of the next hero will be a part of their the last hero story. So I'm guessing it's Queen. I think Queen is in the name. The Making of a Queen might be the name of today's episode. So I'm guessing that's what we're going to get today. Really enjoyed last week's episode. Don't feel like I reacted to it that well though, which is maybe another reason why the busyness allowed for the editing to not get done. I was very quiet as I watched it just because I was so in the episode. But really enjoyed watching Lucky Cyan make up with Luo. I was so worried that they were going to fight, so I'm glad that arc was done, and a relatively happy ending for Cyan, or Cyan, and yeah, which is something that we're kind of not used to in this show. So Queen's going to be interesting. She is seemingly related, the daughter of the guy who found Lucky Cyan in the plane crash, who seems like could be firming up as one of the primary kind of side characters in the show. So let's see. Other than that, guys, let's get into the episode. Just saying though, beforehand, if you're enjoying what I'm doing here, then please don't forget to like and subscribe and send me a comment. Oh my God, send me a comment. That would be so much more pleasing for me than either a like or a subscribe. I'm not sure how it is for the algorithm, but it's so nice to hear people who are connecting with what I'm doing. It feels like I'm less and less talking into the ether when that happens. So please send me a comment, say hello. I'm pretty good with replying to stuff like that. And yeah, all right, episode 11, To Be Hero X. Let's get into it. I am really keen for this. This after commission thing, I don't remember exactly what that's about. I need to pay more attention. Usually I'm really good. Like when I watched AOT, I was just so on the theories and stuff. Okay, so this is Queen. Younger. Nice animation. Up the front. Very focused this girl is. Already finished. Ooh, she's got some RIZZ. Some aura. All perfect, of course. With this girl, you can already tell. Okay. 100%, yeah. Was this her name? Youngest genius, works hard. Like, she's focused more than she's a genius, I feel. But maybe she's a genius too. We don't know enough yet. 皆さんこんにちは。私たちは誰かに認められるために生まれてきました。しかし信頼とは自ら培うもの。私は必ずヒーローとなってこの世界を変えてみせます。Okay. So she's gone down the route of like traditional garnering of influence by being perfect. Wow. Wow, this is so Australian, tall poppy syndrome. Yeah, this girl's not going to be swayed by this though. Boom. Yeah, wow. She's very idealistic. And the idea of bringing order to the world. Is order what the world needs? Goodness, I suppose, instead of order might be a better way of saying it. Okay, bringing in gender politics into this, which I don't think she would like. This is how you gather trust and haters, but oh, she's cool. It's actually a really interesting reflection of how life is at the moment. Trust value, the age of social media, really influence rather than trust, though, maybe being seen as valuable in the eyes of others. Probably how it's always been, but it just feels so exaggerated in social media. Oh, he's from the OP. Through women. Last year's X. Do I need to go back to the start of this series and watch it again? Like, this X thing, is that the top 10 or is it the top hero? Last year's? Is there a new one every year? Either way, I'm keen to see this Boa. She's surely gonna flog him. The animation, so good. It's got this like kind of like American cartoon feel to it. I don't know, like almost like a Marvel-ish. That, yeah. Nice, close up. I love the angles this... Oh! He did not look worried there. Oh! Boa. With the knockout. What's going on here? Oh, fear. Was that Queen? Well, she's surely getting saved. Is that Queen? What? But don't we know X? Isn't X that other guy with white hair? Oh, what's the significance of these three events all happening on? Yeah, focused. That's Queen. That is Queen, okay. Miss X, okay, so X is number one. Bo looks entirely unimpressed. Wow. What? Oh, that sounded, yeah. Yes. The gals telling him how it is. He's not gonna give up though. This guy's creepy AF. Oh, I don't know, it goes a long way. But she has the focus and determination and the brain to do it too. What? She's like Gojo! Oh my god. Is this in the hero building then? The ranking matches. Her rules order. She sets the rules. Is that her power? What? It's cute. It's cute. Kawaii. Oh my god. She can't help it. So unusual for her. Oh, I have so many friends that are like this. Can't understand their logical brains being overwritten. Oh my god, this is gonna improve her life and improve her as an all-rounded being, emotional intelligence and stuff, but may soften her resolve. There's a bit of world building going on here, really, too. This is like creators. This is a metaphor for creators in our world. Influencers. This is like, what if influencers had special superpowers? What? This dude? Is that the guy? What was his name? Oh my god. This is slice of life, like. We're gonna get to know all these heroes really well, and then they're all gonna have to kill each other or something. Like, where is this going? They're gonna soften Queen. I hope they do anyway. Oh! Oh! What a knockdown of Sion. Come on. She's too cute. Oh, so this is Queen in all white. Wow. What? This is... Boa lost. Okay, so this is she's gonna get clapped. Already over? What? So we don't even know what happened. Wow. This guy is OP. Nobody knows. How did he get his trust value then? Wow. Oh. Crisis, yeah. First time you've really had your infinite belief in yourself rocked can be a hard time for people that grew up with that innate sense of it. Learning how to find it again. Learning how to find confidence again when you've never had to develop it in the first place. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Derelict. What is these little... Is that fear? Is that the... What? Whose daughter? Wait. Whose daughter is who? What? Okay, so she's been looking into Queen, found out that she's the daughter of the journalist who's presumably she may know is around. Wait, is he now working at the Hero Corporation? DOG? Is it DOG? So much going on. Like, the cadence of this show is just amazing because we don't really get time to slow down enough to really take in a full picture of what's really going on. It's moving so quickly, but it's doing so in such a smart way. Like, I absolutely love how this show is setting itself up. Like, it's taking the time to show the backstories of all of these characters up front. Now, what a show will normally do is kind of bring the characters in over some like initial arc that just naturally brings them into present moment events. And then we see the backstories over time. But what this is doing is it's betting itself on having absolutely rockstar backstories that are super interesting that can hold together a whole season and build enough interest and create emotional connection between us and all of these characters. I can see this is going to be, if this is done well, this is going to be such a great story because it's weaving kind of major themes in around social media, influences, the nature of kind of capitalism, politics, societal kind of things, and remains to be seen how well it weaves that together. But at the moment, it's weaving that through some really deep emotional kind of stories about our main characters, getting us to know and like them, but also showing us that they aren't necessarily all best of friends. And so we've developed almost affinities with these characters, which are so well designed. Like every one of these characters has been so far done in a way that is playing to tropes, but pulling on emotional heartstrings and creating complexity in their lives such that we develop a sense of relationality or relatability to them. So it's been done really well, and I can see that it's setting itself up for is this a 12 or I think it might be a 24 episode season too, so we're getting a good backdrop. Season 2 of this show, I know I'm already talking about it, not even halfway through season 1, but season 2 of this show is going to be incredible because we're going to have been fully set up with all of these heroes, and it's like that's when the story is going to begin. It feels like we're kind of starting with like an anthology of prologues at the moment, for each character's prologue, as though there's not really a main character. Even like, who is the main character of this show? Like, is there a main character of the show? I'm not sure at this point. No, there's really not. Like there's a main character for each each of these arcs, but the arcs are all gonna have to come together at some point. Love the messages that they're telling with this show, and I love the way they twist the messages. So they take something like feminism and then throw it into like the corporate capitalist machine and see how that actually gets used to generate an outcome for a capitalist kind of organization, or I mean that doesn't need to be capital like a capitalist organization, but just how the machinations of power use these kind of societal issues in a way that isn't totally authentic in order to generate competitive advantage for themselves. So I thought that was really interesting as well, how they played on the feminist card that's now created some tension between Boa and Queen. And so these are the things that are just beautifully done, so there's kind of three elements to telling a great story. I got really obsessed with this after Attack on Titan. So the first one is the world building. So having a beautiful world full of complexity that is explained well, so that we are able to feel like we're a part of the world and understand the machinations that project it. And then the next layer down is we've got the characters, so strong characters that can like interact with each other well, and then from there you've got the actual narrative, the plot that's happening, which ideally should be and feel like a natural function that isn't forced to an outcome, but is a natural function of how these characters interact with each other based on the characteristics and personality that you've given those characters when they interact with each other and with the world around them, or in this kind of model above them. So it's world building down to character building down to narrative building. But really how it goes is the narrative is dictated by the characters who operate within a world, and you want to make sure that you feel like all characters are acting within their reasonable frame of what they would do or think in a certain situation. And so based on events that are unfolding and the way that the world works. And so the show is doing that really well at the moment without giving us a great deal of world building. It's like drip feeding the world building. Like it felt like this episode was largely a world building episode, letting us get in touch with a couple of new heroes, which I found surprising that it was going to be more than one. We saw X for the first time, just getting a little bit more about the machinations, these ranked battles and things like that. So there's plenty going on. Loved that they they really understood Queen's character well when they're writing them. Like, this is one of the most incredible parts of being able to tell a story. A great story is being able to understand how the world works and how people work in order to create a believable narrative within that, that doesn't feel forced. And at this point, I feel like we're seeing the emotional um, and character stuff being done extremely well in this show. Queen is another great example of that. Like, her experiencing failure for the first time. Um, it's quite a unique position and situation. Not something that I've dealt with. I had to build my confidence up, and so for me, I know that it cannot be there. But there are some people that are just born with this innate confidence and are raised with an innate belief and confidence in themselves. And for those people, when they first experience failure, when they first kind of like get to a point where their innate gifts and talents are seen, are kind of like put at a level where everyone else's are at the same level, and things get hard or they fail and have a setback for the first time. That is a really important part in someone like that's journey, because you find out whether they can actually steel themselves with resilience, rather than just being on like that constant, snowball effect of everything going right for them. So yeah, just really nailing how these characters would develop and go and process in real life as well, whilst giving them relatively high stakes things to worry about. Like, Esau was a perfect example of that, like the higher stakes kind of stuff and the decisions someone makes in those moments. But yeah, so yeah, in my view, this show is just building and building so nicely. It's hard to know, like, there's so many things being introduced at such a quick pace at the moment, and that's probably one thing. The pacing is fast, and the world building storytelling is not quite as tight as the emotional storytelling, but over time, I'm hoping that will build. Like, it's clear, like I said, they're focusing on the emotional character building at the moment, and so the world building is kind of being wrapped around that, perhaps loosely on purpose, so that we're not getting a full idea of what's going on. It feels like they are foreshadowing things, foreshadowing, dramas to come and potentially already unfolding, and political machinations and all of that. But it just feels like it's being done quite loosely at the moment, but that may be on purpose. But it doesn't feel like this story has been designed within a world that is as pristinely created as, such as, say, an Attack on Titan or something like that. But in any case, hugely enjoyable. Really, really enjoying it. Something I feel like I can really sink my teeth into as a as a philosophizing, almost like anthropological, spiritual teacher, who loves to understand both people, society, and kind of the inner and outer realms of how we live, what it is to live. So really interesting. And one final point that I'll make is I just love the juxtaposition, or the not the opposite juxtaposition, the symbolism here of heroes being our modern day influences, and the guess, like, the creative take on that being that trust begets superpower. But it kind of does in the real world as well, and it does come and go. People get cancelled, so I'm loving how that works as well. Yeah, I think for me that's about it at this point in time. Just really enjoying this episode. Can't wait for the new season of anime to come out. Dan to Dan's out soon. There's a couple of other really great animes on the way, so I'm probably going to be reacting to a lot more coming up, which I'm excited for. Hope To Be Hero sounds like it's going to be continuing as well. So a lot more content to be consistently putting out, which is going to be busy times for me, but I'm excited, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. So as I said at the start, likes, comments, and subscribing would be incredibly amazing if you're enjoying listening, watching along, and yeah, way more to come. My life coaching, spiritual teaching, and things like that. I really want to bring that to this space, and I love reacting. I love watching reactors to anime, and so it's really great to be here. And I'm hoping to use it as a um, as a as a as a circle place for us lovers of anime to come and gather to explore how we can become the most wonderful version of ourselves, as we often aspire to be through our heroes in the animes we watch. So plenty more to come. Please subscribe and leave me a comment, because then I don't feel like I am all alone here. I wish I had someone to react with, but none of my friends watch anime. So here I am, and just got you guys. So ping me, say hello, and speak soon. Ciao.